let's talk about the Glow range. So the Jennifer Lopez perfumes, my favourite by far is Still. Absolutely love that perfume, and I've not really found many others that I absolutely love the way that I love that, but I do happen to think that Still is an absolute masterpiece. I don't think there's many perfumes around, especially in that price bracket for like £20, that are anywhere near as good as Still. I think Still is just spectacular. But I know that a lot of people love Glow, so I thought I'm going to try the Glow series. The first one I got was the regular Glow, and then I just basically had a look and see what I could get as a bargain. I always knew I wanted to try Miami Glow, and then it just so happened that in the UK, like through eBay or through like the cheaper kind of sellers who sell the older perfumes or the discontinued perfumes, I could also get Love at First Glow, Blue Glow and L.A Glow. And I haven't tried to get any of the others because they're actually expensive. I think the Miami Glow, because it was 100ml, was like just under £20. The L.A Glow, which is 50, was 50ml. That one I think was about 16 or 17. That was an eBay purchase. Blue Glow and Love at First Glow were about kind of maybe £12-13. And the original Glow, as I think this is probably one of the easiest ones to get. This one I got as a damaged box kind of bargain from Direct Cosmetics, so I think it cost me about £6, so it was a real bargain. As you can see, there's some damage to the box. So if we start with the First Glow, now this is not one that I actually like to wear, but I do think it's a nice scent. So what this reminds me of personally is, there it is with its little original little JLo charm. The original Glow really reminds me of Nivea soft body cream. So people talk about it being soapy, and it definitely is soapy, but there is a body lotion smell about this. And I think it's just a bit too floral and a bit too sharp for me. However, it is definitely, and what I will say about all of these perfumes, you need to spray them on your skin really, and then you need to let them dry down before you decide what you think about them, because they are all soapy or lotiony, and they all start, well, most of them start with a bit of a sharpness and then get kind of increasingly sweeter and more creamy or more lotiony or more soapy. I don't know, it's so difficult to say that word. So for me personally, because I'm not a big fan of white florals, I'm not necessarily the keenest on the original Glow. However, I do think that it's actually kind of brilliant, and I can understand why other people like it. If you like floral perfumes, if you like white flower perfumes, just generally, I think this would be a really safe bet for you. So the notes in the original Glow are top notes of neroli, orange blossom and grapefruit, middle notes of jasmine, rose and tuberose, the base notes of musk, sandalwood, orris root, vanilla and amber. So for me, neroli, orange blossom and jasmine are not really flowers that I particularly enjoy in perfumes. They're kind of, if they're the dominant notes, I'm really, really fussy about them. And the only reason I love Still so much is because it's like an edible jasmine. It's like a jasmine tea. That's what that perfume smells like to me. It doesn't smell like a perfume jasmine. And as much as I adore the smell of jasmine in the natural world, it gives me a headache in perfumes, unfortunately, so I have to be quite careful of it. I love tuberose, I love sandalwood, I love musky perfumes, I normally like grapefruit, but this one just doesn't really work for me. And like I said, it really reminds me of Nivea Soft, which is the white Nivea body cream, and I am more of a blue Nivea Creme girl, and I do actually have the perfume of Nivea Creme because I do love that smell. But this reminds me of my sister, really, not because she wore this, but because she uses Nivea Soft and has done like forever. I've always used Nivea Cream, she's always used Nivea Soft. So Anyway, it's a beautiful perfume. It's not for me, but it is pretty great. So then we've got Love at First Glow. Now this one, as you can see, I mean, you can tell this is like aimed at teenagers, right? This is a really limited edition one that I think, if I've got all my research correct, was released for like a Valentine's special. And I mean, it's definitely, you can just tell as well from the charm that it's totally aimed at teenagers. I have to admit, I really don't like these charms, and any JLo Glow bottles I keep, I'm definitely going to take the charms off, because they're just not for me. I don't like the tinkling; it gets on my nerves. So this one was a risk for me, just because there is peach and rose and vanilla in. Now, one of my most alarming perfume blind buys was the original Ghost perfume. That is one that I bought because people told me it smelled like Turkish Delight. I say they told me, I mean on the internet lots of people said it smelled like Turkish Delight, and I kind of see what they mean, but as it turns out, the combination of a very sweet and vanilla-y rose and peach can really go wrong for me. It does depend on the type of vanilla though. So this one, very pink, as you can see, super pretty. The notes in this one are top notes of peach, neroli and bergamot, middle notes of rose, freesia and jasmine, base notes of musk, woodsy notes and vanilla. So I'm just going to spray this in the box. I have tried it on my skin and I can't say that I was keen. So I think it's quite pretty at first. Again, it smells very soapy, like a bar soap. It's got like, you do get the rose, you do get the peach. It's gentle, it's pretty, it's very youthful smelling, and not in like a bad way. I don't think it's like, you're never going to smell it and be like, gosh, that's an expensive perfume. But I don't think it smells as cheap as quite a lot of other celebrity perfumes I've smelt. There's definitely something about this one that is a cross between like a bar soapy body lotiony smell and a shampoo. There is a slight tartness to it, a sharpness to it that I think is a little bit shampooey. But I think realistically, if you enjoy rose and peach and you like the general profile of kind of soapy perfumes, I think that you'd like this. Like, there's no reason to not like it. I think it's pretty cute. You can get it for quite cheap. It's not the most interesting from this range, but I think it's kind of nice. Whether I'll be able to wear it or not, I don't know yet. That's going to be a bit of an experiment. We shall see. Because I think just generally it's not really my favourite set of notes. But it's also, I kind of keep wanting to go back to smell it. I keep wanting to be like, do I like that? Do I not like it? It might just be one that I quite like, but I can't wear. I think the peach in it's really juicy. The sharpness kind of calms down a little bit. The vanilla comes out. I feel like that with all of these perfumes. I think they all get sweeter if you wear them and the longer they're on. So, oh wait, I just took it right off, didn't I? Blue Glow. Blue Glow is the first glow that I got after this one. So this was my second glow purchase. I thought it looked really interesting because this is a perfume that has mangosteen in it, and I can't say that I really remember what mangosteen smells like particularly. I have eaten it many years ago. This one doesn't come, or didn't come, even though it was all packaged up, it didn't come with a charm. So I'm guessing at some point they were still producing this, but they weren't actually putting the charms on anymore. Right, Blue Glow, I think, is very nice indeed. Firstly, I love that bottle. I think it's gorgeous. The colour's gorgeous. And I think this smell is gorgeous. There's a really good reason why I think this smell is gorgeous. Oh, okay. So the notes in this one, top notes, mangosteen and orange. Middle notes, water lily, tincture of rose, orchid. Base notes, oak moss, sandalwood, Virginia cedar, mahogany and tonka bean. So I was not at all sure what this one would be like. I didn't really know if I would like it. I didn't know if it would be too woody. Some people say this one leans maybe a little bit masculine. I'd say that this is probably quite a nice unisex scent myself. There's something beautiful and unusual about it in that the mangosteen is an interesting scent. This again dries down, starts to smell like a sort of body lotion bar soapy kind of vibe. Very clean, very fresh, very nice. Oh, I also do get quite a bit of that orange, but because it's mixed with the mangosteen, it's quite an unusual fruity smell going on here. It's just an unusual aquatic is how I would describe this. However, the general scent profile of this really reminds me of one of my favourite perfumes, which is Guess Dare. I love Guess Dare. That one is like kumquat and white flowers. I think it's got like pear blossom or something like that in it. I can't really remember, but it's got like a bright kind of spring flower smell, while having a slightly unusual and kind of hard to recognise fruit, a juicy fruit in it. And then it has a musk in the base that nowadays I kind of think of it as like the Lonvin musk. It's like it smells like a bar soap. It smells like a white creamy bar soap. I've got quite a lot of perfumes that have that kind of musk in because I really like that musk. This one doesn't list musk, but there is definitely a vibe. I think this one really reminds me of Guess Dare. I will happily wear this one in summer. I do think, though, this is like a slightly more unisex feeling sort of profile of Guess Dare, you know? It's very pretty, though. I really like this one. I think it's a really nice perfume. So I highly recommend that. I recommend this one over this one, definitely. I think it's much more interesting. I think the bottle's prettier. I just think it's a really nice one. So if you see it, I genuinely think that's a very pretty and slightly unusual scent, because the only things I have that smell like this, like I said, Guess Dare really does. If you're worried about, if you only like very, very, very feminine perfumes, then maybe just try Guess Dare instead of this. They have got different fruits, but they definitely smell really similar. And then Guess Dare, kind of in its turn, the florals and the fruit in that reminds me of Star Fruit and White Flowers from Aqua Colonia, from 4711. And that, again, like Star Fruits are kind of a watery, fresh and quite unusual fruit to get in a perfume. So they're like, I've got like 3 little perfumes that all feel slightly related to each other, which I quite enjoy. So L.A Glow. Now this is the one that people compare to Britney Spears' Midnight Fantasy. I have that perfume. I think that perfume smells like a blueberry muffin. So this one's a pain to get out because it has this frankly disgusting massive ring in it, which I think is horrible. You're supposed to take this out and put it on the bottle. Maybe I should just do that for the review. I would never put this on a bottle. I don't like it. It's just not my aesthetic. That's no judgment on anyone else. I just kind of like really sleek bottles that haven't got too much going on. That's just the kind of bottle that I like. This one, you're supposed to put this on. Actually, I don't want it to get stuck on there, so I won't leave it on there. So this is like the berry. This is the berry glow. This one's the official just clean glow. I'd think of this as the rose glow, to be honest. This is the aquatic glow. This is the berry glow. So I think it's quite interesting that this is compared to Midnight Fantasy, because sometimes I wonder if things just get compared because they're celeb perfumes and not necessarily because they really smell like each other. It does have lots of berries in it, yes, but I don't think it smells like the Britney perfume. The Britney perfume smells, well, when you first spray it, actually, to be honest, it smells like a blueberry muffin. And then when it dries down, it starts to smell more like a blueberry muffin, like scented shampoo. It gets very, very shampooey, like intensely shampooey, in a way that I don't particularly enjoy. But but I still like that perfume enough to keep it. I can only wear it in very cold weather, and I can only wear it kind of evenings. I don't like wearing it in confined spaces. This is nowhere near as sweet, and it still has that classic JLo Glow lotiony, soapy smell, but it's not necessarily shampooy once it dries down. You get a bit of sharpness at first, and that is a bit more shampooy, but I kind of like this one. I think this is one that I'm going to have to really kind of do a full day's wear test to see how I feel about it. But the notes in L.A Glow are top notes of blackberry, plum and cherry, middle notes of magnolia, jasmine and peony, base notes of musk and amber. It doesn't list anything sweet in here, so I think this is one where the sweetness is coming directly from the sweet, the kind of fructose, you know, the fruit sugar. And I find peony piercingly sharp. Like sometimes people refer to peony as being a sweet floral. I find peony in perfumes to be very sharp, genuinely kind of nose tingling, eye wateringly sharp. And magnolia and jasmine. Jasmine sometimes is quite sweet, but magnolia often isn't. That's one of the classic sharp white florals. So when I first spray this, and for a little while, it's leaning a bit more shampooy, a bit sharp, and a bit nose tingly, you know. And that's what I'm saying. It has none of the kind of gourmandy berry muffin smell and the, like, I mean, Midnight Fantasy, literally when you first spray it and until it gets like shampooy, entirely smells like a blueberry muffin with a crust of sugar on the top. That's how sweet it is. This is not that, but it is quite tart, and my memory of trying this on my skin is that it gets less tart the more it dries down, and it smells more like a bar soap. It gets more musky and more like just a lovely clean smell. It's like a berry bar soap compared to like a kind of aquatic bar soap, compared to a rose bar soap, compared to just a white bar soap, you know. Yeah, I think this one's going to be a grower. I think this one, when you first spray it, maybe a little bit like, woof, okay, maybe a bit sharp, maybe a bit shampooy, but I think it's going to be a grower, and I think that's one that will probably stay in my collection at least for a little bit. I'm going to have to give it a proper wear test and see how I feel about it. Now, Miami Glow. This is the big one. This is the easiest to get, I think, really, apart from the original Glow, because I think this one's still in production, I imagine. Whenever I see anyone saying that it's been discontinued, I'm like, is it? Because you can still get it in like the big retailers as well as like the discount retailers. I'm definitely going to have to take this thing off though, because it's so annoying. These little I mean, it's cute and everything, but it's annoying. So there is the bottle. I think it's very elegant. I think these are really, the lids are crap. The lids look horrible, and it's also kind of interesting that like occasionally you'll get one where the scent is written on the lid and not on the actual bottle, which is also super annoying, because if you lose the lid, do you know what I mean? You might forget what it's called. I don't know if it says on the bottom. Hopefully. No, it doesn't. Yeah, so you better keep hold of your lid if you've got this one. But Miami Glow, I've heard so many mixed reviews of it. I've heard some people say that it's sharp and it's horrible, and some people say it's cheap. Some people say it smells really expensive. Some people say it smells like suntan lotion. Some people say it's sexy. Lots of people say it's tropical. Ksenia, I think, really loves this one. I think this is one that she used to wear when she was, I mean, she's still very young, let's be real. She's a lovely young woman, and I am a much older woman. I like this one, but I think this is definitely a grower. When I first got it, I was like, ooh, that is not what I was expecting. So I'm just going to spray it. Oof. The lids are quite tight though, so hopefully not too easy to lose. Yeah. Okay, so it's quite subtle at first. And it's gentle smelling at first. And then it really does have that lotion bar soap, clean but sweet, kind of hot skin. Like it smells like hot skin on a holiday. And I think that's probably where the suntan lotion thing's coming from. So the notes, top notes, passion fruit, coconut milk and pink grapefruit. Middle notes, orange blossom, cyclamen and heliotrope. Base notes, vanilla, musk and amber. This one, I don't think I ever really thought this was particularly sharp when I first sprayed it. And because of the pink grapefruit and the passion fruit in the top, I thought it might be kind of, this level, these kind of levels of sharpness at the beginning. But this one's more akin to this. They both have a more, like, this is like aquatic in like a sea way. And this is like kind of beachy in a kind of sandy way, if that makes any sense. You definitely get the coconut milk, but it's very much coconut milk. It's not like coconut cream or fresh coconut. It's not like how you might think you'd smell coconut nowadays in a lot of perfumes. It's definitely like just a creamy thing, a creamy vibe, a lotiony vibe with a hint of coconut. I get heliotrope, definitely. I get vanilla, I get musk. There's a warmth from the amber. I don't get a huge amount of orange blossom, but I know that there's like florals in this. I wonder if the cyclamen's kind of coming out more. The heliotrope gives heliotrope's normally really powdery, but I think because there's coconut milk in this and then quite a lot of kind of tropical juiciness, I think that's kind of negating the powderiness of the heliotrope. It's really, really pretty. And I tried it on my skin and I was like, okay, all right. I think I was expecting this to be far more tropical than it smells. But, you have to remember, this is a Glow perfume. And the Glow perfumes, I am absolutely sure that JLo's Glow perfume range, she's just like soap. I just want them to smell like soap. I want them to smell like I've washed my hair and washed my body with a either fruity or floral soap. And that's exactly what all of these are. I think they're really interesting. I think these three I'm definitely keeping. This one I'm not sure of. This one, I find it really difficult to decide whether I should just keep it to compare it or keep it as part of my collection. I'll probably pass it on because I know there's people who like it. And I think realistically, probably I'll just do a little bundle and give someone these. But yeah, I think probably Miami Glow is my favourite. I'm glad that that's the one that I've got in the biggest bottle because I think it's my favourite. I think it's the one that I would comfortably wear without really thinking about it. And interestingly, on the skin, I think this gets stronger. I think it needs that heat of the skin to get stronger. It lasted for quite a long time. I can kind of tell that Glow, Miami Glow, and the original actually have both been around for quite a long time because they have the longevity of perfumes that came out like back in the day. And when I say back in the day, not back in my day, these came out when Jennifer Lopez wasn't a thing until I was, maybe 20. How long's it been? Maybe a teenager. But, we're not talking like 80s perfumes or early 90s perfumes. These are kind of more 2000-y. But even then, in the early 2000s, the perfumes I have from the early 2000s, things like Oxygen and Noah and 212, they last all day. They last all day. They're not necessarily bombastic. They're not like Chanel No. 5. They're no flower bomb, They're not like things that everyone in like the local area can smell, It's not going to go into a room before you. They're closer to the skin, but they last all day. And I think that Miami Glow might end up being one of those. There's just a vibe I get. And this one definitely lasts. The original Glow, that lasts. So I think this is really good value, but if you don't like perfumes that smell a little bit soapy or a little bit lotiony, don't bother with any of the Glows. Definitely don't bother with this one. Definitely don't bother with this one because this is a tropical soap. This is a berry soap. This is an aquatic fruity soap. This is a rose and peach soap. And this is a white flower soap. That's literally what these are. And I have to say, I'm kind of in love with the Miami one. if I didn't already have Guest Air, I'd be very in love with Blue Glow. And I think the LA Glow might be a bit of a grower on me, you know. I think it might grow on me. I think I might like that one. Yeah, I mean, they're super fun. This was really fun to try these. And I think, yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to wearing Miami Glow. The last thing I'll say on these is I think they're all going to be better in warm weather. I'm filming this in winter in the UK. So I have really enjoyed these to try. I've really enjoyed this to wear. I've really enjoyed this to wear. This one I didn't think I was going to like, and then the longer it dried down, the more I liked it. And these two, you know, not necessarily for me, but we'll see. But I definitely get the vibe that these have been designed by someone who lives in a warm area of the world and someone that doesn't really need perfumes for winter, you know. I feel like these are definitely supposed to be for lovely warm weather, for smelling fresh, out in the sunshine, on a beach, in a field, you know, doing lovely summery things. I think they're all probably going to really shine when the weather changes. So I'm really looking forward to trying them again. I'll keep them in my collection. And yeah, so that was my little glow review. I hope it was helpful to anyone who's been looking at them and wanting to buy some.